This world so cold that I keep it chillin'. This world so cold that I keep it chillin'. I'm on my back and I'm on my skrilla. I hang with the gang and I hang with the killers. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Take Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. In today's episode, we're on the beach, Skyler. This is a movie right now.
I'm in love with the coco.
Yeah, funny enough, we're at a place called that. So, man, let's just jump right into it. So the Super Bowl is obviously coming up. It's this week. 49ers and Chiefs rematch of a couple years ago. You know, what are you thinking in terms of who's going to come out with the ring in 2024?
This was arguably the Super Bowl that wasn't supposed to happen. The Chiefs probably had the worst regular season for a Super Bowl team in their history. I mean, is what I think. The Niners been getting away with a couple games, man. Couple games
they have.
getting away with
They
it.
really have. I think they got away with the Lions. One, they kind of got bailed out a little bit. Personally, I think, you know, this game, they can't play the way they have the last two games, especially against a Chiefs defense with impressive defensive backs, Snead, McDuffie. Then they got Chris Jones, of course, rushing the passer. Like, I mean, that Chiefs defense is legit, man. Like, I think that's going to be the story of the game, and also the Chiefs running attack with Pacheco. Pacheco's been a baller, man. I mean, he scored a touchdown every game in the playoffs. Just feed him, bro. Like, he's so fun to watch. That man's so fun to watch, bro.
I will say this. Both teams have byes, right? So everyone's going to be healthy, which I love about the Super Bowl coming in. You know, you get...
Man, I'm sorry, guys. We got helicopters flying everywhere. Like, we got seagulls flying everywhere. Every time I turn around, I see a seagull.
I'll say this. Both teams have byes. Both teams are going to be healthy. I think you'll get both A performances out of both teams. It's a Super Bowl. It's going to be a fantastic time. I'll say the Chiefs, in terms of defensive efficiency, you're not going to be able to get away with the stuff you got away with the Lions and the Packers. You're not going to be able to. There's not going to be 3 dropped interceptions. The Chiefs will not give up a 17-point lead. So you got to come with your A game. But the problem that I have, Jackson, is do we live in a world where Brock Purdy
is not the guy?
Super Bowl champion. Is a Super Bowl champion, and not only is he a Super Bowl champion, he beats Patrick Mahomes.
Well, he would be the first quarterback. Well, he is the first quarterback to start as the last pick in the draft in a Super Bowl. And I'm correct in saying this. I think he'd be the first to ever win one as well. So he's making history already, but he can make history 2 different ways. And I mean, he's got the weapons. I mean, there's no doubt about no one's questioning the Niners' talent.
No, absolutely not.
No one's questioning the talent.
Team football.
It's just, you know, when you look at this team, I look at the rushing defense from the last couple games. It's just been an absolute clinic. Like, the Lions just ran through that 49ers defensive front, and I think the Chiefs are going to do the exact same thing, which is going to prevent a lot of which is going to pose a lot of problems for the Niners secondary as well, who has been getting
cooked,
exposed. They've been getting exposed recently, and everyone was saying this defense, and I was one of these people. This defense is, you know, unfair. It's the best of all time. In the discussion, and you know they're not playing. I mean, you run towards Chase Young. What's that guy gonna do? Nothing.
He's a great pass rusher. I'm not gonna talk.
Yeah, against the pass, they're a completely different front.
But the Lions and the Packers both ran at him, and they both did very well while doing it. So
yeah, it's impressive.
The Chiefs, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. This is Patrick Mahomes' best defense he's ever had in his career. I don't think there's any arguing that.
Yeah, maybe when Tyrann Mathieu is there, but I 100% agree with you there.
In terms of efficiency
yes.
and yards per game and turnover ratio.
And it's just so weird because, you got number 1 receiver Rashee Rice, a rookie, he's been killing it. I mean, came out of nowhere, you know, as you would like to say, exploded onto the scene. It's been a movie for him as well. Yeah. And Kelsey's showed up. I mean, he showed up in the last game. He proved he's the best tight end in the league still. and there were a lot of question marks of, you were one of these people, like, is he fried? Like, is he done? Like, I mean, you obviously know Travis Kelce's going to show up in the playoffs, and he has been.
I feel like the conversation in the beginning of the season was, hey, I'm going to really indulge into the Swiftie lifestyle, and I'm going to indulge into this podcast and do all these things in terms of broadcasting and in the entertainment world. It's almost like he went into the office with Andy Reid and was like, hey, listen,
I got other
call
things.
me when the playoffs start, and I'll start acting like the best tight end in the league.
I'll be there.
That's what he's done, man. He's shown out, what is it, 3 touchdowns in 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, he's
Mahomes
a stud.
Broke the quarterback receiver touchdowns.
Yeah.
They beat Brady and
I think Travis Kelce has the most catches in playoff history past Jerry Rice, too.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, man's a stud. Like, and it's in Vegas, so of course we got to bring up, the betting odds. The spread is -2 for San Francisco, +2. If you ask me, I'm taking that for the Chiefs +2, and then also the money line, bro. It's +105 for the Chiefs, bro. I'm taking that all day.
That's easy.
All day.
Well, what's your thing? Easy money.
It is. That is easy money. You're betting on Mahomes. And he's an underdog.
Yeah, dude.
Like, has he been he's been an underdog all playoffs, and he's been cashing out, bro.
The dude's first 2 road playoff games were 2nd seed on the road, 1st seed on the road. So
yeah,
inevitably, if there's any slander in terms, he's regressing or
there's none of that. No.
We'll cut that off real quick. I mean, 7 years in the league, 3 Super Bowls now,
6 AFC championships,
2 regular season,
4
MVPs,
Super Bowl appearances,
2 Super Bowl MVPs. Dude quits tomorrow. First ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, 100%.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Easy. Just what he does. And another bet prop we're going to get into. What do you take? This is an over-under. I want to see what you're going to take on this. See if you can give any advice to the Vegas bettors out there. Over-under 47.5. Over-under.
For what?
For the game. Like 47.5 points.
Combined points?
Total points. Over-under. I'm taking the under, guys.
Taking the under.
Yeah, I am too. I think it's going to be a defensive game.
I think it should be. I just don't foresee if one team gets out ahead. The problem is both teams have good defenses that create turnovers and put you away. Because the Lions in that last game, after the first half, were non-existent. So
man, that's
Detroit.
Crazy. They just
I would say under. I'd take the under.
Yeah,
you're foolish
I would
not
too.
to take the under.
I would too, because even the Chiefs, I mean, they haven't been scoring at a high clip.
No.
They scored 17 points in the AFC Championship.
They've been doing what they needed to do
to win,
which is clock management, create turnovers, get a lead, and here Pacheco, go kill clock.
Yeah, Pacheco, just take it and run, and just get those high knees going.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you see him doing those high knees all the time.
The Broncos country ride airplane high knees in the airplane. Are we talking about those high knees? Or are we talking about?
Well, it's looking like them.
Yeah.
It's looking like when you watch him. I mean, it definitely looks like it. Hey. It's apparent that he's came from that time. Maybe he's come from a time machine. I'm not sure.
I'm taking Chiefs. I'm taking
Chiefs too. I know I may be contradicting myself to a certain degree because I've been saying Niners all year. This is the Niners Super Bowl to lose.
But they're losing.
And it is. It is the Niners Super Bowl to lose, but they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, they're gonna lose it.
They're gonna lose it. There's no beating around the bush with that. Man, I'm excited for that game.
I am too, dude.
I'm excited for that game.
Wow.
So, since we're talking about the Super Bowl, I figured we'd bring up, top 5 Super Bowl moments. I think it's a must. It's a must. So, I'm gonna rattle off my top 5 Super Bowl moments first, and then you can go ahead and go. My first one is the tackle. Super Bowl 34, Rams versus Titans. Yards short.
Yard line. Yep.
Yards short. I mean, that one's iconic. I remember seeing that as a little kid all the time on NFL Network. All the time. You got to put that in there. Number 4, I put the San Antonio Holmes catch. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy on did he get that second foot down.
Oh, no controversy there. Watch the tape.
I mean, that's why I put it in there, but it's still a tutty.
Yeah, it's still a tutty.
It's still a tutty. You can't go. I think it's just kind of insane to me. They have replay then, and then they can't go and overturn that. But he did a good job of hiding that foot. I mean, like every angle they had, bro, he just could not see the other
I wanted
foot.
Kurt to win that Super Bowl so bad too. I wanted Kurt Warner to win.
I did too. I wanted him to get another one because he got a couple with the Rams, and him and Larry, man, they were balling out. I mean, Larry was balling out in that Super Bowl.
Amazing game.
And this is an honorable mention for me in the moments, but James Harrison pick 6 in that game.
That was a by the time he was done finishing that run, 99-yard touchdown, that man acted like he just did 4 miles without stopping on the sideline. He was smoked, dude.
What was it like? It was like the whole
99
field.
yards, dude. Yeah, as a tackle, bro. Or not
As a pass rusher.
Yeah, dude. That was wild to me.
He looked gassed at the end of it.
Kurt wish he could have that back.
No, 100%. Let's move on to my number 3, Malcolm Butler interception. I mean, the magnitude of that play.
Oh, man.
I'm not wowed by the play per se, but
the moment
was so crucial. It changed everything.
Woke up to the boom.
Yeah, it literally broke them up.
Yeah.
Literally broke them up. And Malcolm Butler literally made a career off that one pick. That one interception, he was the number 1 corner the next year.
Well, the best part about
West Alabama rookie, undrafted free agent.
The best part about it is you'll always have to bring his name up regardless of because he doesn't have the stats. He doesn't have the stats.
Yeah, but he's got the play.
But he's got the play. So he'll forever win.
Kudos to him. Kudos to him. Number 2, speaking of plays, the Edelman catch, Super Bowl 51, on 3 people.
Yes.
That should have been a pick if you look at that play. Edelman literally, and on the way down, he was trying to gain control. He literally loses control of the ball for a half second, and then he clamps his hands together. It's catch. I'm like, Doc, that's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. Like, how did he catch that? Triple covered. Triple covered.
Stud.
Absolutely, dude. Maybe.
Love the podcast too.
Oh yeah, with Gronk. Have you seen one with Gronk?
Yeah.
Dude, that one's hilarious. Shout out Julian Edelman. I love that guy. He's just hilarious, man. He's just funny.
Typical dude, bro. Typical dude.
Then the first one I got, number 1, the best Super Bowl moment of all time, David Tyree helmet catch.
I knew it.
The helmet catch, bro.
I knew it, bro.
Like that helmet catch, bro. Like that's iconic. Like the guy guarding him was trying to bat that ball away, and he just couldn't do it. And he literally was the only reason he caught it is because he was pushing that ball against the helmet.
I'll say this.
And that won them the game.
He had some double bubble on that helmet. Double bubble, the bubble gum, man. He had that double bubble. I don't know if you've seen that SNL skit.
You think they were prepping for that?
Huh?
You think they were prepping for that?
No, dude,
oh, let's put some sticky, like the baseball thing, like.
The person who was guarding him, Rodney Harrison, the free safety. I mean, that's a dude to make. If you're gonna make a catch on somebody, more than likely, if you're watching that game, you're like, he's not gonna make that catch on him. So that was just more salt to the wound. And then after that, the corner gets burnt by Plexico with a fade route to end the game. That was probably the worst way to ruin your perfect season. The worst way.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that game a little bit more. I want to hear your top 5 Super Bowl moments because I've rambled on mine.
I'm gonna go Philly Specials 1 for me. Okay. Philly Special, and I think, and this is why. The moment in terms of, I don't think anybody thought Philly was going to win that game. I thought nobody gave Philly a chance, and Nick Foles went out there and balled. And then to add insult to injury, we're direct snapping.
Fake audible.
Lateral to Trey Burton, by the way. Trey Burton, Venice High School. I saw him cook my high school team homecoming year. He was a quarterback for Venice High. Dropped 50 on our heads at home. But to see him in the Super Bowl, go back to his roots, they give it to Trey. Throws a dot to Nick Foles.
That was iconic, man.
That was
iconic.
That's my first.
And that was his only touchdown pass of his career. Was in the Super Bowl.
That was my first. I want to go from there. I want to go the helmet catch with David Tyree would be my second. The next one I'm going to do is same Giants Super Bowl. The Manning to Mario Manningham on the sideline.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The tight window,
the dot,
throw,
dude,
and then the toe tap after. Bill's on the sideline going, I just can't beat these guys. Like these guys, no matter what I do, can't beat them. Giants, I love that one. I also loved. My third's going to be the Malcolm Butler, just because to look at Pete Carroll on the soundbite at NFL Films, and then you just get the heart drop. Oh my God! Everyone on that Seahawks sideline. Oh my God! pick from your boy Russ.
We're gonna get into that moment a little bit. I got a couple questions on you on that. But.
And then I'll go Santonio 4 because you got to throw in that catch was insane, dude.
Yeah.
That catch by Santonio was 4.
Even though it didn't count.
And believe it or not, I'm gonna go Vinatieri 5, first Super Bowl with the Patriots. Another huge upset. I think the point different. I think there were 12-point underdogs in that game, and then just again to watch that Super Bowl happen. Brady gets his first.
Vinatieri saved Brady plenty of times.
We're gonna get so many.
Plenty of times.
Apparently, getting a team in field goal range is impressive.
But you got to remember, right? Like they had I think the Patriots caught a break because they started at I think it was maybe the 40, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't have to move the ball too much.
Well, I mean, I think people who watch sports, if you're a Brady fan, you glorify him getting them in field goal range. But if you played football or if you've ever been involved in organized football, in a 2-minute drill, you're not playing man coverage. You're not pressing. You're giving everything underneath. You're preventing the deep ball. So if we're going to glorify for a guy for getting a field goal range, at least give the guy who kicked the 44-yarder some credit.
Facts. No, I agree 100%. I think kickers are underrated when it comes to team success because they can make or break your team 100%. We've seen that in the playoffs this year.
Josh Allen, right there.
We saw it in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, Tyler Bass, we'll get into some kicking things later on. We're going to go into top 5 Super Bowl performances. For me, I'll start at 1 for this. Since you started at 1, I'll start out with a bang. Steve Young, Super Bowl 29, 6 tutties.
Love that.
6 tutties.
That's a good pick.
Number 1, 6 tutties. That was when Steve Young, kind of emerged out of Joe Montana's shadow. He became his own man. He became his own quarterback. That was the moment. And even Steve said he had all that pressure. He felt that way for a certain reason, which, I mean, you're getting trained to be great.
You're replacing the GOAT.
At the time, yes.
Joe Montana was universally recognized as the best quarterback who ever touched
100%. 100%.
So that's hard shoes to fill.
Yeah, it is. Number 2 for me, man, these sunglasses are so dark, guys. I can barely read it. Timmy Smith, Super Bowl 22.
Ooh.
22 rushes. 204 yards, still a Super Bowl record for rushing yards, and he's the only rookie in Super Bowl history to score 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Man was a beast. And you know what's crazy about that game? He wasn't even supposed to start that game. He found out when he was on the sideline, hey, you're starting. Bro, that's wild to me. And I'm not a big Redskins guy, but you gotta commemorate that. You gotta give kudos to that one. I mean,
and the Redskins are now the Commanders. If those who don't watch football,
or forgot that they were the Redskins. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Timmy Smith, number 2. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go Super Bowl. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Super Bowl 28. Super Bowl 28. James Washington against the Bills.
Okay. Wow, you're way back.
An interception, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown for safety in the one game in the Super Bowl. You don't see that from a defensive player, period, in any game. So, I mean, I think that's iconic, and, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I had to throw that in there at 3. Number 4, I got Jerry Rice, Super Bowl 23, 215 yards, a touchdown. Iconic performance, still the most receiving yards in a Super Bowl game. Got to throw that one in there. Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time. Got to give him his credit.
Hold on. You said what?
He's the greatest receiver of all time. He's got the most yards of all time for a receiver, most touchdowns. I mean, how can you argue that?
We'll go back to that. I don't know about all that. But
number 5, we'll go Super Bowl 18. Marcus Allen, 191 yards rushing. At the time was the rushing yards record.
Marcus Allen Raiders? Wow.
At the time was the rushing yards record. 2 touchdowns. At the time was the rushing yard record. And in that game, bro, if you remember, Marcus Allen has 74-yard touchdown out of nothing. Out of nothing, dude. Iconic. Marcus Allen, one of my favorite running backs of all time. Just absolute stud. Okay. Those are my 5 player performances.
Okay, well, I'm going to go a different direction here. I'm going to educate. I feel like today we need to, instead of antics and entertainment, let's educate. Show some credibility in the stuff we're talking about. I mean, I like that. I like how you brought it old school, man. You really kicked it old school. My number 1 performance is going to be Joe Namath, all right? The Super Bowl against the Colts, Johnny Unitas. They were a 13.5-point underdog. Man sitting in a beast chair, and he guaranteed a victory. It saved pro football, bro. It saved pro football. Like, his victory, he called his shot, and they won. And quite frankly, I don't think people are still surprised that even happened. I mean, had no business being in that game. Number 4, I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Niners-Dolphins Super Bowl. Last time we went with Marino, and Montana decided 331 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then he ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. Swamped us.
I'll give you that one.
Joe Montana, that was a great performance.
That's a solid. Yeah.
We're gonna go Jerry Rice at my 3.
The same one I had.
Same one I have. He had 11 passes, 215. Tutty, Supreme Ice. That's Supreme. Like
Supreme
Jerry
Ice.
Rice. Jerry Rice was amazing.
Supreme Ice, Jerry Rice. That rhymes,
Supreme
guys.
Ice, Jerry Rice. And then I'm going to go Kurt Warner for my 4, man. The dude was stocking groceries. The dude was an arena football quarterback, and then he goes, picks up a very complex offense in that system, and they become, in the modern era during that time, the greatest show on turf, greatest offense ever. Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Falk. I mean, those dudes were studs, man.
They were.
Studs.
That was a really fun team to watch, bro. They were explosive.
Is it Dick Vermeil?
Yeah.
Dick Vermeil. I mean, great coaches. And then my 5 is going to be Steve Young, 6 touchdowns. That Super Bowl again. The pressure on that man to go fill shoes. It's the equivalent of Mac Jones trying to fill Brady's shoes.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's the equivalent between Jordan Love trying to replace Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers trying to replace Brett Favre. Except this guy goes in there and he tops Montana's all his Super Bowl performances and gives you 6 tutties.
And not everyone can fulfill those shoes.
It's a tough thing to do.
It's a tough ask. It's really a tough ask.
Man, dude, it's the Niners at that time were the Patriots in terms of Niners and Cowboys were the best 2 organizations during that time, and man, the Niners knew how to mold quarterbacks. I'll tell you that. They did.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not a Niners guy, obviously, but I mean, the Cowboys in the 90s, man, I love how you bring that up because that just, it brings tears to my eyes.
You'll never
joy. It's I love watching that film because it's the only happiness I can have as a Cowboys fan.
Well, it's right.
Ever. Period.
It's right place, right time, man. It's right place, right time. Michael Irving.
Jimmy Johnson knew how to build. You know what I mean? Like he traded Herschel Walker for all those picks that turned into, 3 Hall of Famers. More, if I'm not mistaken. But
managing personalities and
100%.
Jimmy Johnson did that to a T. You had Emmitt Smith, like I said, Michael Irvin.
Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin.
The defense were dog. Deion came over from Stanford.
Deion, man. Yeah. We had prime time when he was playing kick returner and receiver, bro.
And corner.
Yeah, he was doing it all, bro.
Yeah.
He was doing it all.
Now you wonder why he leaves the transfer portal.
All right, man. Next topic, top 5 QBs of all time.
Oh, wow. You put me on the spot, cuz.
This is going to get hot. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'll give you a taste of what I'm thinking.
TB12, right?
So number 1, obviously Tom. I mean, that's no-brainer. Number 2, Mahomes. Number 2, Mahomes. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Number 4, Montana. And number 5, Dan Marino.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Dan Marino.
I appreciate that.
I know he has 0 rings, but the man threw for like nearly 70,000 yards passing. He's like 7th all time in passing yards, 8th all time in passing touchdowns. I mean, dude was a monster. Like in this era, like he was doing things back then that no quarterback was doing. I know he's got no rings to back it up, but man, for the team he had then, and you can speak to this as a Dolphins fan, like it's. He didn't have the greatest weapons on planet Earth. He really didn't, and he had
a great offensive mind in Don Shula.
Yeah.
He had Mark Clayton. He had some.
Mark Clayton was a dog, but that was about the only top tier guy he really had.
He had some hoopers, man. He had a good running. He had a good rush offense. The only thing that failed Dan Marino was those defenses, man. Those defenses couldn't.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, those defenses, man. But
so I can respect that.
So you like the list? Brady at 1, Mahomes at 2,
yeah,
Manning at 3, 5 MVPs.
Don't like that.
5 MVPs. You got to give him man's credit. I know he had a lot of playoff letdowns, but man, still the second greatest pocket passer behind Tom Brady. Let's be honest here. If we're on planet Earth, let's be honest. Second greatest pocket passer of all time, in my opinion.
In the regular season, yes.
And then behind that, Montana and then Marino.
So,
I think I think that's a respectable list.
It's respectable. There's no arguing it. I'm going to go.
I want to hear your list, though.
Mahomes 1.
Okay, dude, you're crazy. Hold on. Before you even go to 2, why is Mahomes 1?
Do we have to bring up this?
The stats? Go ahead, bring up the stats. Brady clears him and everything.
Hold on. Dude played till he was 45. You're gonna break records if you play till 45.
But man, you gotta respect the GOAT, man. You gotta respect it.
Okay, we're not gonna go.
It's disrespectful.
So I'm glad he has 7 rings. But if we're ring eye test.
It's not even the rings though.
Let's go. Hold on. Because I give you a list. Hold on. Let's go. Let's compare side by side. We'll throw the graphic up here.
Yeah, we'll throw the graphic of the lists.
So, 7 years in the league, 7 years in the league. Mahomes has more touchdowns. He has less interceptions. He has more wins. He has more conference championships appearances. He has more MVPs. The only thing Brady did better than Mahomes was Super Bowl rings. Everything else, Brady's not up to par.
I think he definitely is. He beat him twice. We had this conversation.
Okay, he beat him.
We've had this conversation.
Then I guess Nick Foles and Eli Manning are better than Tom Brady because
no, that's not
the Super Bowl.
That's not the logic. That's not the logic I'm going on.
It's the same logic.
No.
It's the same exact logic.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's not
because Brady's the GOAT. Brady's the GOAT. That's the only reason. I'm not using that for Manning.
Okay.
I'm not using that for Foles.
So hold on. 7 years. Side by side, Mahomes is on a higher trajectory to break all those records.
Do the rest of your list. We can come back to this.
Okay, so Mahomes 1, Brady 2, Montana 3, Aaron Rodgers 4, Peyton Manning 5.
Yeah, I thought about putting Rodgers in there, but I couldn't trump my man Marino.
I have to trump my man Marino because at the end of the day, he got to a Super Bowl and he crapped his panties. I love Dan Marino, bro. I am the biggest Dolphin. You know me. I'm the biggest Dolphin fan you know.
Yeah.
Biggest Dolphin. But at the end of the day, even though I don't prioritize winning chips because that's a team thing, winning Super Bowls is a 53-man team effort. That's an effort. That's not just like Brady doesn't have 3 if Vinatieri doesn't bail him out and has ice in his veins.
Sure, I see. I see your point there. Now I see your point, but like Patrick Mahomes, right? Good defense wins you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he has that this year. So without that defense, is Mahomes in this position?
Absolutely not. And I see that. Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. But also, the point I'm going to make back to that GOAT conversation was Mahomes has been the best player on every one of his Super Bowl runs. Yes or no? Best player on the team, every one of the Super Bowl runs. 100%. No. I'll stop you there. There's no way you're going to. You take Mahomes off that team.
Who is better than Brady in his Super Bowl runs? Give me an example.
Brady was expendable his first Super Bowl run. Drew Bledsoe went into an AFC Championship game against the Steelers.
But he replaced him, am I correct?
Yes.
Number 1 overall pick.
I'm talking about
Brady never even gave him a chance to even get his job back.
Well, hold on, though.
That's different, bro.
He was hurt. Brady was hurt in the AFC Championship game. If he was the best player on their team, Bledsoe would have not been able to go in there and drop 3 tutties on the road in Pittsburgh to get them to that first Super Bowl.
But that doesn't make any sense. Because
how does that not make any sense? You took Brady off the team. They still went to the Super Bowl.
No.
How does that not make sense?
No. Okay. Let me say something.
Right,
okay,
go.
so the Drew Bledsoe, right? You're talking about the number 1 pick after the Patriots with the Cowboys. You're talking about that. Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe was in the Super Bowl with Bill Parcells.
But he lost, didn't he?
Okay, but he got there though. What does that
doesn't matter if you
what
get
does
there.
That tell you? What does
doesn't
that
matter if you get there. You
lost.
lost.
Does that tell you though? The team is stacked.
I got Marino on my top 5 list, but he didn't win his ring. But I still put him in there.
Brady was not the best.
I could totally hold him against that.
Brady was not the best player on his first Super Bowl ring. He was not the best player.
Who was then?
You can go any route you want to go. Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis, Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi. Their defense was stacked.
But that was Brady's first second year starting.
You're right. And Mahomes was the best player on his team the moment he touched the field. The moment he touched the field.
Maybe not the moment he touched the field.
His first year, he dropped 55 tutties.
But Kelsey was very established. You're talking about
Kelsey wasn't putting those numbers up with Alex Smith.
Well, because he's not a quarterback. So like you're talking about players who are established. Brady was there, okay? But here's the thing: you've got to have a quarterback that can get you there, and Brady did that time and time again.
Brady got
time
there
and time
in the
again.
regular season, but Bledsoe won the AFC.
Like you can't be serious to think Mahomes is the GOAT. Like it's not realistic.
Right.
Like
all right,
give him more rings. He has an argument if he gets 5 and he catches
rings though, bro.
but that's important. That's legacy. If you're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time,
okay, but
Brady has the most
point,
passing yards, most passing touchdowns, most Super Bowls. Like, bruh, he's statistically the best quarterback, and he's the best quarterback at winning.
If that's the case, then Bill Russell is the GOAT of basketball because he has the most championship rings.
But we really know Bill Russell. I'm glad you brought this up. Bill Russell's field goal percentage was in the 40% range for the time he played, and he's a center, not an efficient basketball player. Just saying, not an efficient basketball
11
player.
rings though.
Sure, because he had a stacked Celtics team. We're not going to get in the NBA right now.
Bro.
Bob Cousy was his point guard, passing him the ball.
We have the top 5s. I get it, man. You love Brady.
Well, you have to. You have to. I don't love Brady. I respect Brady. There's
Brady
a difference.
Too. I respect him so much that I'm giving him clout. If you had to choose a team right now to start your team with, you're going to go Brady over Mahomes?
Tom Brady, 100%. Easy. Yes. Easy. Yeah.
All right, I'll stay on this side.
I think so.
We'll keep the same energy here coming soon. All right.
I think so. Okay. Next topic. Top 5 Super Bowl chokes.
Oh my God!
You want to go first?
Thank you for bringing that up. I love that.
You want to go first?
Tom Brady, 18-1, the GOAT. You know?
Who did that though?
Oh, that's good. That was a good transition. That was a great transition.
Yeah, I got you on that. I got you on that.
Yeah. Thank you for that lob. We'll go 18-1.
That was unintentional, by the way.
And then we'll go after that. We'll go to the Seahawks, Patriots. Malcolm Butler interception. That was a huge choke. Give the ball to Marshawn. Call it a day. They didn't.
This is your top 5 list?
Yep. So I go undefeated season. The Malcolm Butler interception. We'll go from there.
The 28-3.
Packers, Steelers, Rodgers on that wild card run goes in there and beats Big Ben. I'm pretty sure they're returning champions, right? They
Who, the Steelers?
The Steelers. So they lost that game against Green Bay. That would be my 3. The Colts, Joe Namath Super Bowl that I brought up. Colts were the biggest favored at that point. Joe Namath pulled up, beat them. That would be my 4. And then my 5. The 5 was a toss-up to me, but I'm going to go Brady's first Super Bowl against the Rams, 13.5-point underdogs.
Wait, what was your 1?
My 1 was the Giants, Patriots, 18-1.
What about the 28-3?
I don't consider that a choke because Tom Brady was the one winning.
I definitely do.
It was a choke on Kyle Shanahan, but it wasn't like they choked against some nobody. It was Tom Brady. He was established. That was his 5th ring, I believe, before he went to and beat the Rams. So I don't consider it a choke. I just consider that being Tom Brady being Tom Brady.
So your 5 was, go back to your 5. I'm sorry.
1 is going to be the 18-1 Patriot year. 2 is going to be the Malcolm Butler interception. Seahawks should have
ran it with Marshawn Lynch,
3,
bro.
Joe Namath, the year they won, beat Johnny Unitas. 4, Aaron Rodgers beating the Steelers on that historical run. That was the first wild card team, I believe, to win all the games on the road, win the Super Bowl. And then my 5 was Rams, Patriots, first Super Bowl for Brady.
Okay.
13.5-point underdogs. And they blow it to now who's the GOAT.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that. The Seahawks won the Malcolm Butler interception. I mean, why not give Marshawn the ball, man? Like, that's my question. Like, why not? Marshawn was tearing them up. He was in beast mode, literally he was untouchable.
I think Pete Carroll was overcomplicating it, like because he knew that he had to throw down there, but I think you throw when you have to. You run the ball twice and then do it because you have to, not do it because you're trying to get cute.
You saw it was on like the volume or something like that. Him and Richard Sherman were talking about it, and they were talking about the play, and he said what you said. You know, he had 4 plays and he was going to throw one of them. So I mean, I get it.
You could have waited at the 4th down. 4th down, I get it, right? But 2nd down, 2nd play, I mean.
Not just like that not just that, like just like where you are on the field, like you're a yard away.
Makes no sense.
You're a yard away.
Halfback power.
And you got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield.
Halfback power, call it good, but you didn't, and then you allowed the guy who.
You bailed out Brady there.
Yeah, and then Russell, though, to the point there, stare down Malcolm more. You know,
He
Stare him
did.
down more.
Malcolm Butler.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
hike.
He jumped the route easy. It was a slant. He jumped it so quick. He knew exactly where he was going.
He hikes it. Feet
First
are
read.
facing there. Feet are facing and goes. Come on.
First
dog.
read. You
Come
look
on.
at that play. First read. He just throws that thing.
It was easy money.
It was an easy money touchdown, but apparently it wasn't. Now I'm gonna go into my top
do
five
it.
Super Bowl
I'll
chart.
shut up.
So my first one is 28-3, the Patriots. I think that's just a choke. The Falcons had that. They played too conservative. We all know how that game went. Number 2, I'm gonna go Super Bowl 13. Cowboys. Jackie Smith drops a wide open touchdown against the Steelers. Wide open. And Starbuck can't get his third ring. He would have had 3 if he caught that pass.
That was a Navy guy, right? Naval Academy. Good old Roger.
Yep, Roger Staubach.
Stud,
Yeah, my guy. Yeah, Jackie Smith. I mean, you're lucky I wasn't alive then.
Or what, Doug?
I would have just been an upset Cowboy fan. You know.
The guy that had a podcast back then.
Man, they would have been cooked. Number 3, Norwood, Super Bowl 25, misses right.
Oh, Bill.
They lost by 1 point against the Giants.
Okay. That
That is
Bill
a choke.
Bill Parcells year, huh?
That is bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's bad.
Was that Phil Simms?
Yeah, Phil Simms was the
Simms?
quarterback, correct. Yes, and Jim Kelly was the quarterback on the Bills.
That Jim came out of that draft class with Marino and Elway and those guys. Jim was a problem, dude.
He was good, man.
He was a problem all the way up until it mattered.
Yeah.
And then it was like
Those Bills teams were good, man.
Stacked.
Those
And the
defenses
jerseys
were low.
filthy.
But you got to remember who's on the other side of the Giants. Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Doug, probably, in my opinion,
Best middle linebacker.
the greatest defensive player we've ever seen. He's so versatile, bro. He can go in the pass. He can rush the quarterback. So many different things that guy could do. So many things that guy could do. That's a different conversation. We can get into this after this. Number 4, I'll go the Russell Wilson interception. Number 5, man, this might shock you. Cam Newton not diving on the ball, Super Bowl 50.
You're so petty for that.
Dude, but like he's just staring at it.
That wasn't an upset.
He was staring at it.
That wasn't an upset.
But that was a choke. That was a choke. He had the game-winning drive, 3rd and 9.
Hold on.
Pick up the ball. You have another opportunity after that.
Dude,
I think it's a choke.
Don't you think the O-line choke? Von Miller was having his way. Von Miller,
Cam goes. The ball's on the ground. He goes.
Bro, but
Should I pick it up? It's the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Bro, Von Miller took the Carolina's O-line and he said, "Oh, okay."
Well, yeah, he did grab the ball from
dude,
Cam.
I'm sorry, dude.
I will give you that.
Nobody was ready for Von that day, bro.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. But still, I mean,
Yeah.
the ball is right in front of you. You're not going to at least dive for it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. That's your top.
That's a
fair.
certain
That's
situation,
fair.
you know.
I try to give Cam a little bit more leniency just because I don't think anyone thought Von Miller was before that game. You know he was good.
Well, I mean, he won Super Bowl MVP that year.
I mean, he was the stud.
he carried Manning to that Super Bowl.
But
Carried.
he's icy though.
Carried.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Next one is
Next one.
top 5 quarterbacks heading into next year.
Oh, I love this.
Top 5 quarterbacks heading into next year. I'm going to go number 1, Mahomes. Number 2, Burrow. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Justin Herbert. And number 5, C.J. Stroud. That's my top 5 quarterbacks going into next season.
You threw Burrow in that?
I have to, man. He's the guy. He's beat Mahomes. I know he's unhealthy, but when in the playoffs, he can beat Patrick Mahomes.
Man,
He can beat Patrick Mahomes.
that's different. Okay.
That's my top 5.
So my turn? So I'm going to go Mahomes 1, obviously, and that gap is disgustingly wide from 1. And then at 2, I'll go Brock Purdy. 3, I'll go Jordan Love. 4, I'll go Justin Herbert. And 5, I'll go Lamar.
Is Purdy ready to be number 2?
I don't base my rankings off of total body of work. I base it upon the most recent regular season. And if you look in the playoffs, right, Mahomes is in there, just like Hurts was my 2 guy after last year. He was the last man standing with Mahomes. So I'm going to give him that 2. And he was the reason they were winning. Same thing with Purdy. Purdy's not the reason in totality they're winning, but I mean, he's in the Super Bowl, man. And now he's in the Super Bowl. He had 31 touchdowns, 4,000 yards this year. I mean, not that many interceptions. I think 11 interceptions. I mean, you got to give it to him. He has the stats, and he has the championship from the NFC Hardware. He's going to get the second for me. 3, Jordan Love, because first year starting. And I'm going to explain myself. First year starting.
I thought about throwing him in there at the 5 spot.
He deserves it, man.
I thought about it.
He's
definitely top 10. I think he's like 6 or 7 on my list for me. But
Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud showed everyone this year that they could play better in bigger moments than Dak and Tua and all those guys.
Yep.
Stroud and Love
just showed up.
Or just showed up.
Rookie. Well, Love's not a rookie, but, for Stroud.
Game reps, he is a rookie in a sense for game reps. I'll say this. I like my 5. I give it to Lamar because Lamar is going to win the MVP, right?
But okay, we both know how we feel about Lamar.
Well, no, he shows you what he can't do. He can't play from behind, and if it's not a single safety high in a man coverage, it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch, and you're not going to tell me otherwise. Because
what about this? Do you think? Because I wanted to talk about Lamar with you, but
okay.
I wanted to get it brung up.
Okay.
Do you think in that game he should have ran more?
No. No, I do not.
With open space. 2 safeties, take the open green. I think he should have, personally. I think
maybe in the beginning of the game, I understand it, right? But my thing is, you saw what happened. All Kansas City created some turnovers, right? Had the strip sack, went up 17-7, should have been up 21-7. It wasn't for a holding for Rashid Rice on that screenplay into the end zone. The moment they were behind in the second half, and it happens like this with every team. You can agree. You abandon the run, and you start to get happy feet.
Because that's when you're playing behind.
Yeah,
you don't establish the run when you're playing from behind, which you proved that point. I mean, Lamar can't play from behind, and
not in a nickel, not when you have 2 safeties.
I was crazy to think that he could.
Lamar's still good, and he can still win a Super Bowl, right? But he's going to have to win a Super Bowl by not being a pocket passer, and that's a tough ask. That is a tough.
Well, it's just not his game, you know. Like it's not who he's never been that, even in college. I mean,
when was the last mobile quarterback to win a Super Bowl where he won it purely off athleticism?
I can't even think of the top of my head. I don't even think
the last quarterback.
I don't even think any.
I think the last quarterback to get there, mobile-wise, was Jalen. Right? Jalen's mobile.
And then probably Cam before that.
Cam, and then Colin Kaepernick, and even with Kaepernick, Joe Flacco.
Lit him up.
Pocket passer.
Yeah, lit him up.
Until he learns to get better in terms of reading coverages, pre-snap adjustments. You don't have to make pre-snap adjustments when you're running a power spread offense. It's read option. It's RPO, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's like
it's pick your poison. But when you're playing from behind, you're not running RPOs because they don't care if you run.
Yeah, I don't know what I wonder what the Ravens are going to do because they got a good defense still.
No, they're solid.
They got weapons. Zay Flowers, he's a force to be reckoned with for sure.
They're
he's a
going
problem
back next year, but if Patty's there,
it's going to be hard.
It's the same.
But even with Burrow back, that to your point. I don't think Lamar gets back there with Burrow fully healthy.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's Burrow and Mahomes again next year. When Burrow's fully healthy, bro. Burrow is the only guy in the AFC I really have confidence in betting against Mahomes. The only guy.
That's the Brady Manning comp.
It
like
is.
to hype up the Josh Allen,
Patrick.
the Brady Manning comp.
Yeah, but I think that one's Brady Manning.
I think that one's absolutely Brady Manning.
It's the closest to it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Josh Allen reminds me more of Favre than he does Manning. Way more Favre.
Because like the turnovers.
Erratic, insane throws, like turnovers galore.
Where do you have Favre in your like all-time rankings? Like where would you put him?
He gives you. Favre's an all-time leader. He's a locker room guy. But if we're talking about statistics, and he played a long time too. He played till 41, 42. So impact on winning.
I mean, he gave him 2 chips, but
one.
I thought it was
only
2.
one. They only beat the Patriots. That was the year they
I thought it was
Patriots.
2.
No, they lost to the Broncos.
Oh, that's right. I thought they won that. Oh, that's right.
The John Elway.
Man, I think that anything else we should bring up before we end it?
I mean, what else do we have?
Well,
what was else on the docket?
if I want to go here, I can.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jerry Jones.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm sorry, I really tried to hold this in, but I just couldn't help myself. Jerry Jones, you're giving our team props for hanging around the rim. What does that mean? It means you're giving our team props for being mid and for not showing up. And then you're going to say, oh, well, we're going to go as far as Dak takes us. Okay. That loss is partially on Dak. He's got a lot of the blame, but to be fair, it's not all his fault. We all know the defense. That was his fault. But Jerry, man, I don't think he understands how to build a winning team. I genuinely don't think so.
I'll push back. I don't think he understands how to build a winning team in the modern era. I think he had it made in the 90s.
Dude, no, stop it.
Well, no, dude.
Stop it.
I mean,
that was Jimmy's. That was Jimmy's creation.
Okay,
Jerry had nothing to do with that.
Okay,
he let Jimmy run loose. He put him off the leash. He said, "Hey,
for sure,
do all these trades."
But
Jimmy was the general manager then.
I'm talking about, like, Jerry obviously was able to identify that Jimmy was the man, though.
Yeah, but
you got to give him credit for that.
For a short period of time.
Short period made you guys the team in the 90s. So, I mean, regardless,
it's like,
I agree with you.
But it's like, man, like at a certain point, you know, we had to mortgage. Literally, we had to let Bill Belichick walk because Jerry has too big of an ego. We look at this. So Jerry Jones is the type of guy to come in a locker room and be like, just toxicity, and then they leave, and then the players are like, man, well, Jerry said this, Jerry said that. Mainstream media. When you're a Cowboys player, you're worrying about the mainstream media. And when you get a coach like Belichick in there who's not going to let anyone run him over,
well,
that would...
You think Belichick...
No, stop it. Hold on. I got a point.
Okay, go.
He would tell the team, hey, don't worry about that. We got to coach. We got to do our thing on the field. It doesn't matter what the outside noise is going. It doesn't matter what's going on. We have to focus on our craft and our game. Because, to be honest, when you play in Dallas, that media is coming after you.
You're America's team.
It's coming after you.
You have a target on your head.
And when you are performing, it's still not enough. And when you are winning during the regular season, not enough. And then when you come to playoffs, then everything explodes and questions come about. But I mean, I don't think Jerry knows how to make the proper adjustments, look at a game, and be like, here's the problem.
Well, we talked about this yesterday, though. You guys didn't have Diggs. That would have been huge.
Yeah, I agree with that. It would have been massive.
Yeah, I think the more and more time's gone on, because I was hot about the Dolphins, dude. And we can go down that rabbit hole all day. My thing is, you don't say you support your guy, then you go in the media on camera and go, well, I told you we'll take you as far as that can take us.
And he's saying it in front of a bunch of people in a whole, like, media room with hundreds of people.
Yeah, but it wasn't Dak, though.
It's not fair.
I mean, Dak did played a huge role, but we talked about this. The whole team, it was a collective effort.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I just, you know, for some reason, I just don't think Jerry, it's not clicking with him. It's not clicking. I need to make a change.
No.
And it's... You know.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have that problem, and
we got a multitude of problems.
Yeah. My team's currently in contract negotiations with a quarterback that's 7-14 against winning
they're
teams.
Talking about extending Dak. Why?
I mean, in a certain
why?
When you see guys like Jordan Love,
2-5 in the playoffs.
When you see those guys, other guys come in their first game and they ball out, and then you see guys like Tua and Dak, and they show you what they are over and over and over again.
Over and over
again.
And over.
I mean, I don't think it's a hard ask that, as a fan, just upgrade. Just upgrade.
That's what I'm saying.
Upgrade.
Try something new. But aside from an upgrade, try something new.
100%.
Well, flip the page. Start a new chapter.
It's hard to do that, though, when you got bad quarterback play in the past and you don't want to go and tank.
At least with Romo, we had hope. I will say this. At least we had hope. At least he could throw a 60, 70-yard bomb on the money. At least he was willing.
70-yard bomb. That's a rare thing.
At least he could do that when he needed to. Dak cannot. Romo was talented.
To be committed.
He's the only guy I've seen as a Cowboys quarterback. I genuinely sit here and think, man, I really think he could get one. I really think he could get one.
There was 3 years he should have got one, and it just didn't come to fruition. In playoff football, man, it's not for the weak, dude. It's not for the weak. And I don't evaluate quarterbacks on the regular season. A lot of people are like, oh, but he wins you games. And it's the participation trophy thing. Thanks for the stats.
Yeah.
Appreciate the stats. I got to go watch an elimination game, and it looks like your training wheels are still on. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm good. If I go down this hole, I'm gonna start.
I'm good. We're good. Yeah. We'll go ahead and close out the pod off on that. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. This is Skyler Blaine, of course. Dude, man, it's been awesome sitting on the beach, dude. This has been chill.
The take takes cocoa, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're ready to drop some more content. Check out the NBA podcast we dropped. You've been listening to another episode of the Take Podcast. Take care.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my heart up.